Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the highlights, you've heard the rumors, but now it's time to get the real scoop. We pull back the curtain on the world of sports entertainment and give you the unfiltered truth. From the biggest pay-per-views to the latest shocking headlines, you're locked in for the ultimate wrestling discussion. This is Between the Ropes, only on the Empty the Bench Network. Now, here's your host, Kristie Wilson.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Between the Ropes. I'm your host. My name is Kristie Wilson, and I apologize for my voice sounding like this. If you notice the little thing I put on this show's Instagram stories, I am a little sick. I do have a cup of tea with honey, which is what you're going to be seeing me probably sip throughout most of the show. And if I run out of that, I've got some body armor to help with my throat there. But let's get down to the business. There, of course, is the ticker. Of course, you can follow this network. You can follow this show. You can follow me. All that good stuff right there. Really, really good stuff right there. And, of course, I mentioned the show has an Instagram account. You can follow that and other BTR and more BTR on social media at BTRETB. And the big one, of course, is youtube.com/ETB network. All kinds of stuff is happening. If you watch Press Row on Wednesday, a couple of things were teased. I'm not going to say what they are. Lips are sealed on that one. But like always, we are getting close to 4,000 watch hours. We're getting close to 1,100 subscribers. Got good stuff. I mentioned a couple of teasers from Press Row, which I will not say what they are. And also the 4,000 watch hours we're getting close to. It can help us get, do more fun stuff. And also check out the shows like I mentioned Press Row. Check out Gridiron Gurus, amongst other things. And, and MMA Outsiders, that sort of stuff. We've got a draft show coming up on the 23rd. NFL draft show. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And now I got all that important stuff. Here we go. Yes, today is the day. Today is definitely the day. This is your WrestleMania 42 preview happening tonight at Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada. I've got the cards. I just got to pull them up. I know I saved them on my phone, so thank God I got them. So tonight is night one, and of course, you're the host with the most, master of ceremonies. You can't see him. John Cena is going to be hosting both nights, by the way. And I'm going to go through both cards, make my picks, and there was a little story that popped up this morning, which I was very surprised about, but I figured I would put it into this as it's WrestleMania related. So here is your night one matches. We have a 6-man tag team match. We have Logan Paul, Austin Theory of the Vision, and I Show Speed. What a freaking dweeb. I know that rhymed. I'm sorry. Sorry. They're going up against LA Knight, yeah, and the Usos, yeet. And I'm going to get this out of the way real fast because I think this is going to be like the bathroom break match of the whole thing. I'm just going to go LA Knight and the Usos. I'm not going to waste time trying to see if I can analyze this because it's not worth analyzing. It is so not worth analyzing at all. Now, I'm going to kind of go a little nuts with the order here because I'm not going to do this in exact order. The next one, this is Another match that kind of came out of nowhere. I did say last week if Braun Breaker not had his hernia surgery, he would have been the one facing Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, instead of who Rollins is going to face tonight, night one of Mania, which is Gunther. Now, I don't know. I don't doubt it's going to be exciting. I mean, I don't doubt there's going to be sleeper holds, curb stomps, you know the drill. And, possibility, I said this maybe last week, was there's a possibility I think Braun Breaker comes back, say, regardless of who wins this match, Rollins or Gunther, Breaker comes back, and then I think he starts a feud with Seth. That's my opinion. I could be 100% wrong. Oh, boy. I'm really going to need this cup of tea with honey is really coming in handy. Okay. Now we're going to get to another non-title match here. This is the one I think is probably going to be, I would say this has the potential to be match of the night, and that is an unsanctioned match, Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu. These two have been beefing for a while. And yeah, sure. You had no idea who Jacob Fatu was truly beefing with until he took the steel chair out of McIntyre's hands and cost McIntyre that WWE title that Cody is entering WrestleMania with. So I think this is, do I think there's going to be blood? This is not AEW where that sort of thing is common with lights out unsanctioned matches, blood, weapons, you name it. You name it. That's what it's going to be. But I'm expecting a massive beatdown, first of all. I really am expecting a massive beatdown, and one of these two is going to walk out of Mania bloodied, bruised, sore as fuck. You name it, it's going to happen. And I am going to make a pick, and it's going to be Jacob Fatu. Now back to Gunther versus Rollins. That to me is up in the air because, I mean, who the hell knows? I felt like there was no story or build up to this at all. I really don't. It felt like a very randomly thrown together match. Now we're going to get into the 4 titles that are right now on the line on this night one of WrestleMania. Women's tag team titles on the line. You got Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. The Bella Twins versus the champs who are putting them on the line. Nia Jax and Lash Legend. This is not very difficult for me, at least. I mean, I personally feel that way. There was talk that because of an ankle injury Nikki Bella had sustained, there was a possibility that her and her sister Bree's old friend Saraya or Paige was going to come back and step into Nikki's place. But Nikki said at the Hall of Fame ceremony last night she's good to go. She's good to go. But I don't think the Bellas are winning. I think it's Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. And this time I think Lyra's going to have a longer run with these titles than she did when she teamed up with Becky Lynch last year at WrestleMania. Of course, that's when Becky turned into a crash out queen. And I'll get to Becky next. But yeah, my pick, women's tag team champions and new, Bayley and Lyra. Okay. Next match on the card, and I am wearing her shirt. AJ Lee is putting the women's intercontinental title on the line against Becky Lynch. This feud has been going on since September, and I think in all honesty, I really don't think Becky should get this back. I really don't. I feel like if you really want to build this women's intercontinental title up, you have it go against, you have whoever's holding the belt go up against different people. If it's AJ, say she retains, for example, she can go up against Lyra Valkyria. She could go up against anyone on the roster and put them over. Doesn't matter if she wins or loses. Ugh. KB. Yeah, he says, since Paige is back, we might get Team Divas era versus Modern Era workout. That feels so far off, KB. It really does. But I can see your point there. That's not a bad thing. But yeah, I'm going to say, I know many think, Becky needs to get her lick back. I'm sorry. If you want to, storyline-wise, kind of knock this woman's ego down bit by bit, then have AJ retain the title. So I'm picking AJ. And I can see AJ putting people over. I mean, holy crap. If Paige is back, and she supposedly is, she canceled an appearance at WrestleCon, I would say maybe Paige comes out and costs Becky the match. It's possible. So that's a pick on that one. The main event, the double main, it's a co-main event. Oh, geez. Yeah, I say move Becky to SmackDown away from AJ. Yes. Can she take Seth with her too? I mean, that would make sense. But I agree with you, KB. I totally agree with you. So next on the card, I'm sorry if this has eaten up a good amount of time. Going to the main event, for part one of this main event is the Women's World Championship. It's Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, of course, as you know, has an egg on her forehead from getting knocked into Roxanne Perez. Now, this one, I know a lot of people, there's a lot of predictions. I'm sure Nick Morgeson's least favorite prediction markets, Kalshi, Polly Market, and all have their predictions. If I were to trust anyone who can use as a prediction market, it'd be my ATP Lounge buddy, Nick DiMartino, who would, I'm sure, if you're into the gambling thing, tell me, what are the odds that Liv Morgan possibly beats Stephanie Vaquer for this title? Tell me. But I'm going to get back to who I think is going to win. I smell shenanigans is going to happen in this match, but I don't think it's what a lot of people out there in the IWC think it's going to be. I think that Liv's going to get betrayed. I think Raquel probably is stewing over losing her chance of the Royal Rumble when she was pretty much one of the rock stars in that match. Of course, we know Raquel was a rock star in the Elimination Chamber match. I think this is where the continued implosion of the Judgment Day continues. I think Liv or Roxanne Perez, or both of them, betray Liv. And maybe this is just me being a biased fan of hers, I'm going to say I think Stephanie Vaquer retains. I really do. Does that mean the feud with Liv Morgan is over? That is yet to be determined. Now, this main event, part two of it, we have Cody Rhodes putting that WWE Undisputed Championship on the line against the man who's of many nicknames, Apex Predator, the Viper, the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. I know a lot of people out there want to see Randy Orton have his 15th title reign before he rides off into the sunset. No, he has announced a retirement. He probably feels like he can still go. There have been reports coming out that Orton has told WWE officials that he's experiencing some pain. I don't know if it's his back, because he did have back surgery. I don't know if it's anything to do with his neck or any other part of his body. You can think about it. Orton's in his 40s. How much longer do you honestly think he can go? If he wins this and gets world title reign number 15, how long do you honestly think that's going to keep going for? How long do you think it'll last? What if he gets hurt? There's a lot of what ifs in this situation. Pat McAfee, who I roasted, and I should have roasted a lot harsher last week, is supposedly signed a contract on SmackDown. And what do we got here? KB. Pat McAfee will take the WWE title at College Game Day. That's not until September there, buddy. That's not until September. But if he actually did, I wouldn't be happy about it. I wouldn't. Let's get back here. But jeez. Orton, I think there's something in that contract, because if you looked at Orton's face, he's like, what the fuck, McAfee? Didn't you say you were going to read that first? And McAfee didn't read the contract. He signed off on it. If it's him being banned from ringside, or if there's like it's like Cody snuck in a stipulation in this match and McAfee didn't read that part, I'm sure it's if McAfee interferes, Orton loses no matter if he pins or submits Cody. But if this were straight up wrestling match where there's a clean result, and I don't know if there will be, definitely don't know if there will be, I'm going to go Cody Rhodes defies the odds and retains, and still. So those are my picks. Night one, don't know if they'll age well, but we'll see. We're going to go to night two. Night two is super interesting. I think it is definitely more interesting than night one. Night one, there might be, like I said, the unsanctioned match between McIntyre and Jacob Fatu will probably be would be the match of the night if it goes how I suspect it's going to go. And I already got Jacob Fatu as my pick to win that because I think he needs to squash the beef with McIntyre. Here we go. Night 2. I'm not going to go in no particular order. Here we go. Again, it turns out we've got a big fatal 5-way ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Penta is your champion. He is going up against, let's see here, JD McDonough, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, and Rey Mysterio. That is going to be crazy. KB, you had to tell me Jelly Roll is going to get involved. Well, if he does, then I wouldn't be upset about it. I just hope Jelly Roll doesn't do a heel turn. That's it. Now I got to get back to the fatal 5-way ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Is JD McDonough, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, Rusev, Rey Mysterio, and they want the Intercontinental title currently held by Penta. Now, if you're wondering why did this match get put together, we know Rey Mysterio, it was supposed to be a fatal 4-way, and then Rey Mysterio got involved. The other matches, Penta already holds the title, so the other matches were held through main events. So that's how that all worked out. As much as I adore Javon Evans, Mr. Bouncy, love him to bits, but here's the big thing. I don't see Penta dropping the title. I mean, this guy is, besides Javon Evans and Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio and all that, these fearless individuals, I can see Penta winning. I can see Penta retaining. If not, then Javon Evans is going to win. But if I'm forced to make a choice on this, make a pick, it's going to be Penta. I think it's definitely going to be Penta. U.S. title match on the line. Sami Zayn putting it up against Mr. Trick Willie, King of the Lemon Pepper Steppers, Trick Williams. This, I think, is easy, but this feud has been kind of lame as shit. I'm being very honest. Based on my observations, I don't know. But I think Sammy, for all intents and purposes, look, you're not a bad champion, dude, but I think it's time for a change. So I'm picking Trick to be your new United States champion. Another big match. I'm going to get to a couple of non-title ones here. So I'm going to go in a different direction. This is a big one. This is former Judgment Day brothers Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Oh boy, what do we got? We're going to get an OG cut from... I don't want to laugh too hard, KB. I'm a little sick. I could start coughing here, dude. That is funny, by the way. An OG cutter from the ladder? That'd be fucking awesome. I'm telling you. I like that. But no, back to Balor versus Mysterio, and I don't think Dominic knows what he's getting into. He's going up against the Demon King. Yeah. I can't wait to see what kind of demonic look that Finn Balor comes up with. I really can't wait, because him as the demon, the entrance is very dramatic and very theatrical, and I love it. And the fact that, and I'm still disappointed that WWE didn't come up with like any little tiny clues or little Easter eggs for at least for us fans to know that the demon was coming back. But this demon, I don't think Dom knows what he's really getting into. I really don't. So if I had to pick, and I think this is going to be a very, very interesting match, I definitely think so, but I think Finn Balor gets his revenge and Dominic is going to be put down. So I'm picking the Demon King in this one. The next one, this is the one I know, KB, who's in the comments, this is probably going to get him super excited here. It's Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. These two have wanted to rip each other apart limb by limb for a while. And this could be night 2's match of the night. And the funny thing, I've said match of the night, and it's 2 non-title ones. How ironic is that? I would normally think that a title match would be considered match of the night, but no. Lesnar versus Femi has elements of sounds exciting to me. I don't know why, but I know many are saying it's probably Lesnar's going to F5 his ass 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, 10 times. But I think Femi is going to win. I think Obafemi is going to win. And he's really going to have eyes on him. People are really going to be, I think they're already really intrigued by him. I think it's going to create more intrigue, more interest, more excitement over him if he beats Brock Lesnar. You doing the Oba strut at work, KB? There you go. There you go. I love it. I love it. So another one pick of mine for match of the night, Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. My pick is Oba. And he struts himself out of the ring with a victory, head held high. It's going to be great. I think it's going to be awesome. Now we're going to get to the main event. There was excuse me. There was a big the story did come out during this, and as it pertains to the main event of night 2, which is CM Punk putting the World Heavyweight title versus Roman Reigns. A lot of intrigue involved in this, of course, but the story that came out was based on an interview that Roman did where he said this would be his last match in WWE if he loses to Punk. Now, that's really adds a level of intrigue to this match that I really wasn't expecting and that I wasn't thinking was going to happen. But as much as I want Punk to win, and no, it's not because I'm wearing a t-shirt with his wife's name on it. Don't get any crazy ideas. But I think, this is just me, if it's true, then I think Punk's going to retain and Roman's going to walk away. I mean, he's got children. He's got a daughter who's in high school, probably getting ready for college, that sort of thing. So I would have to say I'm picking CM Punk to retain. Now, the women's title match is, let's face it, this match, it's just too easy to predict. It's Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. I'm sure anyone out there with KB or anyone else in the comments, that sort of thing. I'm going to say this right now. This is just a super quick, easy pick for me. It's Rhea Ripley. She's going to fuck Jade up, and Jade's going to have to figure out how, is going to have to go back and work her ass off because, let's face it, and I've heard this from everybody. I've noticed this. Her promos, so what? She has had barely, maybe like one major title defense, and that was against Jordan Grace. Let's face it. And you have Mia Yim or Michin and B-Fab. Look, this is not AEW. Don't try and recreate the baddies, because those two bad bitches, Mia Yim and B-Fab, should be kicking Jade's ass, not going off attacking Rhea Ripley with kendo sticks. I think they're not going to play much of a role in this, but this is too easy of a pick. Rhea Ripley's just going to fuck Jade up and walk out with the belt. That's it. That's it. I hate doing that because it's women's wrestling, but I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Now, this is WrestleMania related. I'm going to go to it right now. Is a tweet I saw this morning before I got the nerve to get out of bed. Was ESPN reporter Andreas Hale. According to him, WWE denied him credentials and blocked access for WrestleMania. Now, according to him, he and the network don't know why this happened. As it turns out, Andreas Hale is actually the guy behind the letter grading articles of the first few pay-per-views that WWE has aired on ESPN, and they were not well received, well, to say the least. So I think it sounds like sounds really petty as far as I'm concerned on WWE's part. At least give ESPN and Mr. Hale a reason why you're not giving him like a media pass or credentials or anything like that. At least tell them why. You owe it that. You at least owe them that much. Don't be fucking petty. Do not be fucking petty. I hated that. I absolutely hated it. Thought it was like the stupidest shit I'd ever heard. I'm like, how could you be that way? Why? I swear I want to know why. As someone who had once aspired to be a journalist, I would want to know why. But now I'm going to get off this topic, because I'm sure it ate up a shit ton of time. And it's to be expected because it's WrestleMania. Everything's going to be happening soon, so of course, it was going to take a lot of time, but we're going to get to the next topic. Yeah, this is your AEW Dynasty review, and a lot of things happened that resulted in certain things happening in the aftermath of this. Jon Moxley beat Will Ospreay in the Continental title match. And Ospreay is like, he's upset about it. And I swear, if I was not at home, I would have given him a hug. That felt so horrible for Will Ospreay. I mean, does this mean? I mean, it sounds like he's getting a redemption storyline or something like that that's going to lead to All In London. I don't really know. If that's what it is, then you better do it. The only thing I got to say to Tony Khan and everyone in charge of creative at AEW, you better do it right. Do it right. Is as far as I'm concerned, we don't need a shitty redemption story where it just results in nothing at the end of it. Ospreay deserves that much. Tag team title match. FTR with that slimy ass piece of shit Stokely Hathaway in their corner. They retained against Christian Cage. That pick of mine did not age well at all. But I was seriously, excuse me, I was worried that Stokely was going to play a factor in this. I didn't say it out loud, and I should have, but that's just how it is. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen from here on out. FTR, your asses are mine, and that's later on in this program. So you people better watch it. You two dudes better watch it. Of course, MJF beat Kenny Omega for the world title. Now, something else also happened, and I'm going to talk about this individual later on in the show. I'm talking Andrade versus Darby Allin for the number one contendership for the AEW World Title. Darby won, and good for Andrade showing Darby respect. That was, I think, very greatly appreciated. I really do, and that was something. I thought because Andrade's with the Don Callis family, he would show no one respect because that's usually how they are. But that was very nice of him to do that. I appreciate that from Andrade. And Darby's a good guy, and I will get to Darby later. Another big match. Of course, as you know, last week I mentioned Kyle Fletcher suffered a meniscus injury, forcing him to vacate the TNT title. They had a Casino Gauntlet match, and your new TNT title is actually someone who was going to be Wrestler of the Week, and that's Kevin the Jet Knight, who won the title, saving his friend Speedball Mike Bailey and pinning Daniel Garcia. Now, of course, this past Wednesday Dynamite, Kevin Knight had a great title defense against Daniel Garcia's Death Riders teammate Claudio Castagnoli. And he's got his sights set on the world title. I will get to that later, as it relates to who my Wrestler of the Week actually is. By the way, Kevin the Jet Knight, you will get your Wrestler of the Week honor. You will get it. You'll definitely get it. Women's match, Tekla versus Jamie Hayter. Like, what do you want me to say about it? What do you honestly want me to say about it? She's developing that cocky, and I'm talking about Tekla. She's developing that cocky Gunther-like attitude, thinking, oh, I could just run over any bitch I want. I don't fucking care. Woman, you are going to lose that title. I don't know if it's at Double or Nothing, because here's one thing that I had predicted would happen at Dynasty, and it didn't happen. No Mercedes Moné. I think that's eventually what's going to happen. We did have a return at Dynasty, and a lot of questions ended up coming up. Was Camille, and this was during 0 Hour when Willow Nightingale was doing an interview, and Camille just like came out of nowhere, came in like a hurricane. If you know, you know. If you watched American Gladiators, last night's first 3 episodes premiered on Prime Video, and Camille is Hurricane, so wink. She came in, had a match in 0 Hour, and this Wednesday on Dynamite, Camille got her match for the TBS title. Willow retained. What does this mean for Camille? I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I hope she sticks around long enough until, I don't know, maybe when American Gladiators gets renewed for another season. I know they already filmed 2 seasons of that show. If it gets renewed for a third, and she'll probably be heading out to work on that. It's possible. So we'll see what happens on that one. A lot of really interesting matches on the card. Jack Perry retained his national championship. Ricochet beat Chris Jericho. Of course, Jericho at the age he currently is at, 55 years old, he retained, or he put Ricochet over. The minor cold I got may be affecting my brain. You never know. I'll probably be switching over to my body armor because this is almost empty. But the tea with honey has been helping out a lot, by the way. So there's your pay-per-view preview, review, of course, WrestleMania being the big one. This is the one thing that came up that I was honestly surprised about is WWE announcing a tour of South America in September. So I'm sure we're going to get an episode of Raw. It'll probably air live on Netflix at an earlier time because of the difference in time zones. And I get that. I'm going to say I think this is big for Stephanie Vaquer. She is, of course, from Chile, and that's one of the countries WWE is going to go to. And I'm sure she's going to be super stoked and excited to go to her homeland and get to have wrestling matches in front of, her family, her closest friends, everyone, like people from her hometown who have followed her career, for like her hometown, San Fernando, Chile. They're probably excited that she's probably going to be a part of this. I think she will. So that's exciting. It's very exciting. But here's the next one. Yep, if you've been seeing like Club WWE around, you're wondering what the hell is that? It's a new service. They announced it recently, and I'm going to be honest. I mean, anything having to do with like you get special rewards, that sort of thing. So it's basically WWE. It's the Ultimate Inside membership program. I'm reading a tweet, by the way. It's the ultimate Club WWE is the ultimate insider membership program designed to bring fans closer to WWE than ever before. There's currently a wait list, and probably because people have been absolutely going fucking crazy over this. They're like, "Oh my god, we get like rewards and goodies and all that other stuff." Okay, fine, that's fine. But geez. I'm not feeling too sure about this. I mean, this is coming maybe like a couple or so weeks after AEW launched myaew.com. By the way, AEW, I'm still waiting for an app for that, by the way. That would be really nice if you did that. So there's everything concerning that one. But it does sound interesting. And if you're crazy enough to join the wait list and all that other crap, go right ahead, whatever floats your boat. But, it's definitely intriguing. You get gold, you get all kinds of stuff. So, you guys one more sip of tea in here. But I also want to say hi to the 164 people watching me live. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you guys are all enjoying the show. I got a little bit more to go, but don't worry. I'm getting to the good parts. I'm definitely getting to the good parts here. The next big topic, of course, recently AEW filed some trademarks for something called AEW Redemption. I've looked a little bit into this through Twitter and stuff like that, and it turns out, sounds like it's going to be a pay-per-view. Now, we already have Revolution. We have Dynasty. We have one of the two big ones that's Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, All In, All Out, Full Gear, World's End. They already do about 8 pay-per-views a year so far. This is, I think, going to be number 9, unless I got the numbers completely fucked up. So this sounds like another pay-per-view. To be completely honest, I don't know where you put this. I really don't. I have no idea. So that's something I think Tony Khan and everyone at AEW is going to have to figure out, because as cool as this sounds, and I like this idea of another, I don't know. My only concern is, when is it? Where is it? Where are you going to place it on the calendar? Because you don't want to be doing one pay-per-view a month. WWE tried that, and people just like, I knew, we ain't doing that shit. We're not doing it. So, but I do like the idea. I think it's really, really cool. Another one. Now, this really caught my attention, and I'm like, huh? What? Turns out AEW's Forbidden Door pay-per-view and TNA's Slammiversary pay-per-view are both scheduled for June 28th. Forbidden Door, AEW is going to be working with CMLL, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Stardom. There's a couple of those. There's that. And TNA Slammiversary is one of this typical, is the standard TNA. You know what the deal is. If you're a big TNA fan out there, you know what Slammiversary is all about. You definitely know what it's all about. Now, there's been some conflict going on. Like certain TNA talent is getting pulled from events like Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling did their multiverse event recently. A certain TNA talent got pulled from the card because they were going up against AEW talent, and that TNA's being fucking petty. I can't believe how petty they're being. And Carlos Silva, who's the president of TNA, I think this is a petty move by him, scheduling Slammiversary on the same day as AEW Forbidden Door. That is petty. That is seriously fucked up. And probably one of those reasons why TNA is pretty much, to me, in the gutter right now. You have a petty as fuck president. Look, I don't think, if Scott D'Amore was still in charge, I don't honestly think he would do this. Excuse me. I really don't think Scott D'Amore would do this, because I don't think he was that petty of a person. Sure, you get WWE, scheduling pay-per-views on a weekend, as say like last July when they had about 2 events scheduled on the same weekend as AEW All In, and that was fucking stupid. This is just as dumb, if not dumber. I feel like Carlos Silva, fuck you. You ain't shit. You're not Scott D'Amore. You know what? I hope you get slapped. I hope you get, hit with a kendo stick, whipped with a belt, hit upside your head with a 2x4. Because this is petty bullshit. Didn't you learn anything from watching how WWE got its asses kicked when they would try and do this counter-programming stuff? That's exactly what you're doing, Silva. Yeah, this sounds like Roast a Wrestler. Sorry. But yeah, I got some anger towards Carlos Silva that I wanted to get out. So there's that. By the way, I mean, AEW Forbidden Door is because you're getting to see different wrestlers, different stars from these different promotions that they're going to be working with the AEW talent. It's going to result in like unexpected dream matches that were not on your bingo card for 2026. That's what I'm guaranteeing with Forbidden Door. Slammiversary, I think you know what you're getting with this. Excuse me. Oh, that was bad. Oh, I'm sorry. But I think Forbidden Door is going to beat Slammiversary's ass in like pay-per-view, like, or, money, that sort of thing. So this should be an interesting one. Speaking of TNA, they are bringing back the old Lockdown event. I think it used to be episode or something like that. They're making it a pay-per-view, and it's going to be set for August 23rd in Chicago. There goes the tea. Not literally. Yeah, literally, not figuratively, people. But Lockdown is going to be a pay-per-view set for August 23rd in Chicago. There's so many different storylines right now going on with TNA. As much as I talked shit about them in the last topic, that was more directed at Carlos Silva for being an asshole, for the counter-programming shit he's doing. This is basically, I think, a really good idea, because the Lockdown... Sure, TNA could use another pay-per-view event because they don't have that many. I mean, Bound for Glory is their version of WrestleMania, amongst other things like Genesis, Rebellion, you name it. So this should definitely be a really, really good one. Now, we get to another one. They're going to shift focus back to WWE. Of course, it's their day. WrestleMania is happening. And they just announced a multi-year renewal of their partnership with Minute Maid. And yes, I have drank Minute Maid before. I've tried Fruit Punch, Berry Punch. You buy the boxes, they have like Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Bianca Belair on the cartons. And you're going to be seeing more of that, maybe with different wrestlers. Cody might still be on one of them, I think. I'm not sure. But they announced a renewal of their partnership. It's a multi-year deal. And, Minute Maid juices, I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong. But, I like the fact they're going to keep this going. I didn't even know the contract was up for renewal, but I'm glad they got it done. And again, I'm going to say hi to, I guess I got up to 165 people watching me live. Oh my God. Woohoo. So good. I'm surprised. Very surprised by that. I shouldn't be, but I am. But I'm going to get to another topic here. In a recent interview with Chris Van Vliet, check out his show Insight, by the way. He's a great interviewer, by the way, Chris Van Vliet. He's really, really good. So he did an interview with Becky. I think he did an interview with Becky Lynch, and she announced that her current WWE contract will be her last. Look, I get where she's come from. She's a wife. She's a mom. She and her husband, Seth Rollins, recently launched a new business called Ammo, which I talked about when it first happened. Let's face it, she's also 39 years old, and I'm sure she's aware she probably can't keep going much longer. At some point, she does know she's going to need to step aside, and maybe she and Seth might end up deciding to expand their family, have another child, to give their daughter Rue a little brother or little sister. Because, I mean, how much longer can someone like her go? We know she's got a match tonight against AJ Lee, and this is probably her last WrestleMania, or maybe next year will be her last WrestleMania. Only she knows for sure when she's going to walk away. Who knows how many years are left on this current contract that she says is going to be her last. Now, as much as I've roasted her for her being a heel, I don't have anything against Rebecca Quinn, the person. She seems like a cool person, and it's probably one of the reasons why Colby Lopez, aka Seth Rollins, fell in love with her. Is she just seems like an overall fun, cool human being. And they've been married now coming up on 5 years. So I'm sure they want to grow their family a little bit. Like I said, they probably want to give their daughter Rue a little brother or a little sister and focus on what they're each doing. I'm sure she has other ambitions that she wants to pursue, like probably do more acting, maybe focus on Amo Coffee, and she wants to just be a mom. Respect that. Absolutely, KB. Absolutely. I don't blame her, because she has called Rue her greatest accomplishment, her greatest joy in life. And I do not judge anybody who wants to focus on their children. I think that is honestly awesome and amazing. I really do. So Becky, as much as I've talked shit about you, roasted you for your crash outs and everything like that, I respect you so much. I do. And if this is your last, thank you for everything. All those awesome memories and moments. Because you definitely are a great one. And we'll see where this goes. So, more body armor. Has those electrolytes. Help out a lot. Oof. Okay. Now I kept mentioning, when did I get this? Yes, KB. She Becky has nothing more to prove. She's done everything. She's main evented WrestleMania. She's had classic matches in her career and everything. It's like, what more can she honestly do? Except be a great mom and a great wife to Seth. That's it. Be a great, wife to Seth, great partner, great friend, great everything. Now, you get to something, if you watch Dynamite on Wednesday, oh my God, I couldn't believe this happened. This is why this segment had to switch out. Yes, my wrestler of the week is Darby Allin, your new AEW World Champion. I'm going to be honest here. I've said this before. I said this on a different show, that I felt Darby was ready for be world champion from the moment he got to AEW. I still remember his first match against Cody Rhodes. I think it was Fyter Fest 2019. And Cody Rhodes wanted to challenge himself against an unknown. He sees Darby and he decides to give him an opportunity. And I guess it was an opportunity Darby couldn't say no to. And the result, we get to see this crazy kind of daredevil type wrestler. He's not afraid of anything. Climbs to the top of a ladder. Forget it. He's going to fall, but he's not going to give a shit either way. He's definitely one of those, he gives this many fucks. Zero. He's wild. He's crazy. I'm very proud of Darby too, KB. Very proud of him. The thing is with Darby, like I said, he's wild. He's crazy. He can be out of control. And like I said, he climbs to the top of a ladder, and this still sticks out in my head from Revolution. I think it was a couple of years ago. Climbs to the top of a ladder. There's a big plate of glass on the bottom. He goes all the way to the top. And if it doesn't matter if you were in the arena in Greensboro, North Carolina or not, even me sitting in my living room, in my home, in my house, this fucker decides to go off. He was going to hit one of the Young Bucks. I don't know if it was Matt or Nick. I don't remember. I'll have to rewatch it. Falls over, hits the glass, and blood is exploding out of his back. And that was freaking frightening. This guy has come to the ring. He's hit people with skateboards with thumbtacks on the back. This guy doesn't care. I mean, heck, he was getting crushed by Samoa Joe, and he pulled a rabbit out of his hat. He wins a TNT title in his hometown. And, I could go, I mean, and I know some people think this was the worst thing you could ever do to someone, but I think it was the best thing that ever happened to Darby was being paired up with Sting. Being paired up with someone who's a legend, an icon, someone with knowledge, expertise, wisdom, that sort of thing. It sounds corny, I know. But I think Sting being his mentor, and they eventually became friends, such great friends that Darby even trained Sting's son, Stephen Bourdain Jr., to be a wrestler, helping him with his wrestling career as a trainer. Darby makes Jeff Hardy in his prime look almost sick. Thanks a lot, KB. But I totally agree with you there. It does make Jeff Hardy. I mean, I thought Jeff Hardy was a maniac, but Darby just beats him in the maniac department. And I'm obviously a fan of his since the beginning. I mean, why did it take so long for Darby to get to the point where he was ready to face whoever the world champion was? In this case, on Wednesday, it was MJF, and he beat him with a Scorpion Death Drop, 4 coffin drops, and whatever that had was the headlock takeover. I think is what he said in the promo at the beginning of the show. The thing is, we knew Max did not want to face Darby, but I think even Max could not deny the fact that you got to give Darby his moment because he's waited so long for the opportunity to do it. And I'm sure TK had a good long talk with Darby. I've heard stories that Darby didn't want to do it, and so forth and so on. But he did it. And I was going to say, in terms of the Daredevil style, like, think about it. I'm sure there was a high level of criticism when Darby said he was going to go climb Mount Everest. Believe me, I was not happy about it myself, because I thought, what if Darby is the one who's going to free AEW from the diabolical antics of Jon Moxley and the Death Riders? So there was no doubt in my mind that Mox telling everyone they need to step up. I thought Mox was being, excuse me, I thought Mox was being disrespectful to Darby, saying he wasn't ready, when I and many other people out there knew Darby had been ready practically since he got to AEW in the first place. But this Wednesday, like I said, he cashed in the opportunity he got from beating Andrade at Dynasty. He's number 1 contender. He probably went up to TK and said, book the match against Max. I want a chance at that championship. And he got it, ironically, in Seattle, Washington, his hometown, in front of his closest friends and everyone. And the locker room came out. Even Sting came out to celebrate with them. And it was, I mean, you could tell how much this meant to Darby when he, after 1, 2, 3, and he collapsed onto the mat and looked like he was in tears. But, super, super proud of Darby. Super proud of him. And Darby, thank you. Thank you. You are awesome, no matter what. Did I think I was about ready to cry there for a second? I probably was, but I'm going to get to this one. This is also related to Dynasty. I kind of debated with myself who was going to get put in the Roast to Wrestler segment. Well, here we go. Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler. Need I say more? I swear to God, what the hell is going on here? What do you? I say this a lot about anyone I roast if they're in AEW or something like that. Do you have blackmail material on Tony Khan? Is that why you retained your tag team titles at Dynasty? Tiny little origin story on these two guys. They've been around the block. They've done everything. Even in WWE, they were winning championships because Vince McMahon feared he was going to lose them when he found out their contracts were going to expire. So he starts giving them titles and all that stuff. Raw, SmackDown, you name it. They still left. Oh, excuse me. They've won tag titles. New Japan, multiple-time AEW tag team champions. Turned on Adam Copeland, by the way. Fuck you for that. And if you watch Dynamite on Wednesday, poor Adam Copeland had a black eye. You sack of shit. You two guys are sacks of shit. And with Stokely Hathaway in your corner, it makes it even worse. Because you got a guy who is, I can't believe he's short, bald, and can't get any hoes. And the thing about it is you two are lame as shit. And let's face it, there are other tag teams that are very deserving of those tag team titles, including Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. You have Jet Speed, Kevin the Jet Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey. I'm not including the Young Bucks in this because I'm done with those guys. I'm done with them. If they keep trying to win tag team gold, then they get put in this segment. So Matt and Nick, you better watch it, boys. You better watch it. But like I said, I've mentioned Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin the Jet Knight, aka Jet Speed. I've mentioned, do I think Jack Perry and Luchasaurus, aka Jurassic Express, should get him back? Yeah, when Luchasaurus is healthy. There's one. But I'm sure you, Cash and Dax, have blackmail material on TK. What do you have? Incriminating photos of him going into a hotel room with a woman. What do you got on him? You even committed the ultimate cardinal sin, and I'm sure Adam Copeland's still waiting for the chance that he and Christian will beat both your asses when you hit Adam Copeland's wife, the Glamazon Beth Phoenix, with a pile driver. I'm sure she can handle it, but that's a cardinal sin in itself. So you two assholes, you need to be humbled. You need to lose those titles. If it takes double or nothing for you to finally drop those damn things, believe me, my patience with both of you losers is running extremely thin. Is about this much. About that much. But I'm willing to wait. As far as I'm concerned, you two, fuck you. You both ain't shit. And I don't care what it takes. If it takes you losing those titles in a freaking steel cage match with the door, and I don't know what it's going to take, but I hope it takes something. So, oh man. But FTR, this is what I got to say to you. Yep, that's what I had to say about that. All right, that's going to be it. I'm going to get to the important stuff I need to show off here. Of course, the ticker, BTR, ETB. You can follow me. But thank you to the 178 people who watched live. I'm very happy, but I can't believe that actually happened. By the way, everyone, more stuff. Of course, you can follow BTR on social media at BTRETB. And of course, we're getting close to 1,100 subscribers. We're getting close to 4,000 watch hours. We achieve all that. Oh, it's on. It is definitely on that one. YouTube.com/ETB Network. Check out all the programming we have. Press row, hitting for the cycle, moving the goalposts. ETB Lounge. Check that out tomorrow. It's probably going to be on during WrestleMania, but don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy WrestleMania, which will be starting, I think, at least in a couple hours or so. Thank you for watching Between the Ropes, and I'll see you folks next week with a new episode. See ya.